This video is sponsored by RuneScape Menethos.
Soon, they will remember who rules Menethos.
Battlefront 2 is on the way and there is a lot to be excited about. Many things have changed since the previous version of the game and a huge number of improvements have been made. This is James from Curse and I'm here to tell you about the critical differences between Battlefront 1 and 2. First of all, let's address the big one. Battlefront 2 will have a single player campaign that is not only a fully fleshed out story, but will also be entirely canon to the Star Wars universe. The story itself will take place during the 30 years between the events on Endor at the end of Return of the Jedi and where the story picks back up in The Force Awakens. You'll take up the role as Iden, the leader of the elite stormtrooper squadron, the Inferno Squad, and you'll be getting a very different perspective on the destruction of the Death Star and the fall of the Empire. However, not everything will be shown through Iden's eyes, and much like in the movies, you will see other perspectives and get to play as other iconic characters, such as Luke Skywalker. Another exciting change is that Battlefront 2's multiplayer will span more films than the previous game, this time covering all three eras. You'll be able to take control of everybody, from Darth Maul to Luke Skywalker, as well as new heroes like Rey and Kylo Ren. Of course, the maps will also span all three eras, meaning you'll likely end up fighting on iconic planets from the movies, such as Tatooine, Naboo, Jakku and Hoth. Another exciting change is the amount of progression and customization options that will be available to you. Battlefront 2's creative director called the new system a trooper's career and stated that during your progression through the system, you'll be able to customize your weapons and gear to fit your preferred playstyle within each class. Which brings us onto the classes themselves. Unlike in the previous game, Battlefront 2 will have 4 classes of infantry to choose from: the Assault, the Heavy, the Specialist and the Officer, each with their own type of weapon and abilities. You'll be able to customize each class, and that customization will be applied to the trooper you play on each map. So while you might be a rebel soldier in one game and a stormtrooper in the next, your class customization choices will persist. Heroes have also seen some major changes in this new game. In the previous version, you would be able to collect pickups during a match that would allow you to become a hero. However, these will be gone in Battlefront 2. Now you will spawn as a character, be it a trooper or a hero, and stay as them until you die. Very few details on how this will work have been revealed, but it appears to be based on some kind of resource system. How heroes will play has been drastically improved. They will be more responsive and less clunky. Lightsabers in particular have seen many improvements. Multiple heroes on the battlefield will become a common sight, but they will no longer be the indestructible machines they were in the previous game. They've been toned down to allow for groups of troopers to have a chance at defeating them, but still allowing the heroes to feel strong. Some cross-era play will be possible in certain modes, so while infantry appearance will be tied to the map you're on, heroes will be able to come from multiple eras, allowing for a showdown between Yoda and Kylo Ren, for example. Each hero will also have their own unique and upgradable abilities to ensure they bring their distinctive powers to battle, but also to allow some progression and customization. Just like the infantry, you'll be able to customize your favourite hero to really match your playstyle. Space battles have been redesigned from the ground up and have drastically grown in size. They will now contain 64 ships, 24 controlled by players and a further 40 controlled by the AI. Ships will be customizable with handling and weapon upgrades and come in various classes much like the infantry. You'll also be able to pilot iconic ships like the Millennium Falcon and Luke's X-Wing. The controls have been improved and feel much tighter, offering a greatly improved dogfighting experience as you blast your enemies out of the sky. Overall, one of the biggest changes to Battlefront 2 is the sheer amount of content. With added progression, classes, more eras to play in and more heroes to play as, the developers have stated that Battlefront 2 will contain more than 3 times the content of the previous game, giving the players way more to do and see. The fleshed out progression mode is set to keep you engaged and wanting to come back for more, as you enhance your infantry, heroes and ships with new cosmetics and gameplay options. One of the most requested features from the previous game was an offline skirmish mode, and it was eventually added. This time though, it will be coming as part of the base game, offering various modes and difficulty settings. On console, it will also offer a split screen option. You'll be able to earn rewards and customize your troopers and heroes to take on the game's most challenging difficulties, or take those upgrades into battle in the online modes. However, not every upgrade will be available in offline play, so don't expect to do all your progression there and then jump into multiplayer with everything already unlocked. Which of these new features are you most excited about in Battlefront 2? And are there any new features that you would like to see them add to the game? Let me know in the comments below. As always, this is James for Curse, saying thanks for watching, and enjoy the game.
This video is sponsored by RuneScape Menafos.
Why do vagrants bay at my walls? Thieves pry at my coffers. And assassins hound my step. They will remember who rules Menafos.
The Golden City is yours to explore this summer.